So what happened after Bud Light came out and basically just ruined their brand? Lost $7 billion in market share. Well, Coors Light and Miller Lite started to take over those shares. And actually both of them, both Coors Light and Miller Lite, released ads today. And the ads are very different, right? Where Coors Light comes in and kind of almost dunks on Bud Light, and their whole message for this new commercial is, what do you want your legacy to be? That's what they're asking, and their legacy, according to them, is rock stars and, a lot of cool people, country music stars, cowboys, all of these people who I would argue are cool. Well, Miller Lite, on the other hand, decided to come out and basically tell Bud Light to hold my beer, because they're going to outdo Bud Light. And in this new commercial, it is all things women, all things girl power. While not nearly as bad as the whole Bud Light thing with Dylan Mulvaney, it is pretty cringe, and it's a pretty bad commercial, honestly. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to watch the commercial together.
Here's a little known fact. Women were among the very first to brew beer ever. From Mesopotamia to the Middle Ages to colonial America, women were the ones doing the brewing. Centuries later, how did the industry pay homage to the founding mothers of beer? They put us in bikinis. Wow. Look at this wild. It's time beer made it up to women. So today, Miller Lite is on a mission to clean up not just their but the whole beer industry's Miller Lite has been scouring the internet for all this and buying it back so that they can turn it into good for women brewers. Literally, good How, you ask? Ladies, take it away.
First, we turn the bad into compost. Then we feed compost to worms. Push out beautiful fertilizer.
That good helps farmers grow quality hops,
which is then donated to women brewers to make their own really good
But there's definitely more out there. In your attic, in the garage, in your parents' basement. Send any you got into Miller Lite, and they'll turn that into good too. Oh, so here's to women, because without us, there would be no beer.
Yeah, so we'll go ahead and we will stop it there. So much just completely wrong information. And, tons of virtue signaling, as you would expect from any company that decides to, quote-unquote, go woke. First things first, they say that women invented beer. Totally false. It was actually basically an entire civilization, the Sumerians, thousands of years ago, who invented beer, right? They were the first people to do it. Now, sure, maybe women had more involvement in that process than men or whatever it is, but to say that, well, without women, there would be no beer is a complete lie, a complete fabrication. The next thing that they bring up is, well, they put women in bikinis and all this stuff. You realize that models want to be in bikinis, like female models. It's a match made in heaven, literally. Female model in bikini, who does that appeal to? Well, it appeals to men. Well, who does Miller Lite want to drink their stuff? Well, it's men again, is the answer there. So, yes, do women drink beer? Absolutely, women drink beer. However, what is the main demographic of Miller Lite? It's men. It's not women. And specifically, it is conservative men. How crazy is that? So you put out this ad, you decide that it is a brilliant idea for you to come in here and put out this ad and basically shit all over your own legacy and say that women brewers are the future, and, 5% of all women drink beer. Oh, man. Yeah, so this is a perfect example of, and we just had the perfect example in Bud Light. This is the perfect example, the epitome of not knowing your customer. That is exactly what this is. Instead of making stuff that is geared towards conservative men, which are beer drinkers, right? We just talked about that. Women don't typically drink beer as much. Liberal people don't typically drink beer as much, right? Whenever you think of beer, you probably think of frats, you probably think of sports, you probably think of country music concerts and things of that nature, because that is the audience for beer. Whenever you get into microbrew and other stuff, European IPAs and stuff, that is whenever you kind of start getting into more of the audience of women and the audience of people who are liberal. But whenever you have just normal, run-of-the-mill macro brew beer, right, beer that Bud Light, Coors Light, and Miller Lite all create, your customer base is 100% almost, I would say probably 85% men, Republican men. That is your audience. So I absolutely love that Miller Lite, and I was wondering when something like this would happen. I didn't expect this. What I was expecting to happen was Bud Light basically ruined their brand, lost $7 billion in market cap in 7 days. What happened was Miller Lite and Coors Light, they didn't really do anything. They didn't come out and say anything or create any new ads. And I thought that was really strange because, well, I mean, you've just had the number one beer in the world just completely drop the ball. And nobody kind of carried it on. Well, now you have Coors Light coming out and trying to basically point at Bud Light, and as awesome as it is, they're also now, I don't think it was their intent, but they're also pointing at Miller Lite and saying, this is going to be your legacy. What is your legacy? We're happy with ours. Are you going to be happy with yours at the end of the day? Well, it doesn't look like Bud Light's going to be super happy with their legacy because they've lost billions of dollars. As it looks so far, Miller Lite decided to look at Bud Light and say, hey man, can we have some of that over here? We would like some market share loss. They've put out their own commercial that's absolutely abysmal, an absolute joke, and it looks absolutely horrible. And it is just such a dumb thing. It really makes you question the intelligence behind these brands, or any brand for this matter that does this woke shit and loses tons of money, right? Look at Cleopatra, the Cleopatra Netflix remake. Today, it is officially the worst rated show in TV history. That is insane. That is crazy. And guess what's going to happen? Right? We're probably going to get like a season 2 of that. Or if we don't get a season 2 of that, we're going to get some other woke piece of shit from Netflix. That's just how it goes. These people do not learn. And I mean, my goodness, in the beer industry too, it seems double fold. I mean, you just had Bud Light come out and say, like, we're going woke. We don't want anybody, if you're a conservative, we don't want you. If you're a frat boy, we don't want you. If you're any of these guys, we don't want you as customers. And they lose $7 billion. And then Miller Lite literally comes out and says, hold our beer. We're going to one-up you. Obviously, no, this is not nearly as bad as the whole thing with Mr. Mulvaney. But this is pretty bad, and I cannot wait to cover this for the next few days. I can't wait to see where this goes. Anyway, that's all for now. I've got to do some work, but check back soon. The lies never sleep, and neither do we. I hope you enjoyed our take, and let me know in the comments down below what you think about all of this. Do you think it's a big deal? Do you think it's a lot less of a big deal than what Bud Light did? Also, like, subscribe, and share this video with a friend so that we can get the truth out there. Make sure to check out our online store at theredmafia.com. We just released new shirts over there, and we'll continue to be releasing new shirts every single week. So you'll find something that you will absolutely love at our store, so go check it out. It'll also be linked in the description down below.